Hello, creatives. Welcome to a Kid Called Beastmaker session. In this session, we have Void, and today, we're diving into the Beastify Blender add-on. Here's an example of what we are making today. Let's get started.
What's up, everyone? By the way, I'll start with that. We're going to install the BEASTIFY add-on today. And I saw, like Mimi just said, there are some steps you really need to follow to make sure everything works right. So we're going over them today as well. But if you missed out on a step, it's not going to work properly. So there might be some questions around that. So please just put them in the chat. And I think Mimi will collect them all and ask them at the end of the session. Am I right, Mimi?
Yes, I'll run through, or tag me or tag Void, and I'll scroll through them at the end.
Alright, cool. So, let's get started, my beastie fellows. I'm just going to put the link to the Beastify in here once more.
Let's go.
I hope it works. Let's see. There we go. You just have to delete the space before the .com, and then you can put it into your browser. Okay, so if you guys put it into your browser, you get to this screen. Is everyone seeing my screen right?
I can see it.
Alright, so it should work fine today. We have the beastify.akidcalledbeast.com website, where we have a few things we can check out. First, it is the Beastify Blender add-on made by our very own Nick, who did an amazing job on it with importing your models, making them work right, and being able to have the proper new upgraded rig working like a charm, which is an absolute blast. So that's the first page we see here, the Beastify Blender add-on. We also have a cool little banner here, but more importantly is an installation guide. So if you were not able to attend today, or you just want to recap everything is put on here on how to install it, but we're going through it today. Updating, removing your Beastify add-on, it's all noted here. Then we have a short how to use section, which we will be going through today as well. We have some cool tree animations we can try out for free. Download the .blend file, and then we have just the latest version and the version history like a proper program should have. So let's scroll back to the top and let's just download the latest version 1.0.0. So here you see it gets downloaded right away, and we have a zip file. Now this zip file needs to be installed inside of Blender. So as you can see, Blender is open here, it's working, and we're going to install the Beastify add-on. So how do we do it? We go to Edit, here on the top, and we go to Preferences. Once we're in Preferences, we have all these kind of buttons here, all these kind of tabs, and we go to the Add-ons tab, which will open up this screen for you. Now the only thing we have to do is to install. Let's go to our downloads, and then you just select the zip file, the file you just downloaded, just like this. You double click it and it gets installed. So when you do this, you get to this screen and it will not be checked. So make sure you check the box, characters Beastify, and everything should look like this. Everything should be working fine. So once you've done this, we can close this. We can go here on the right. There was this little arrow, which are our add-ons that are installed. As you see, I have quite a few, but for now we're going to go with the Beastify add-on. It looks something like this. So we see 4 lines here. First, select your beast. So that's an easy one. You just have to select your beast. The updated FBX file that you can download from the portal. When you connect your wallet, you can just grab your new upgraded rig, which works perfectly. Then we see 2 little lines next to it, which says Rigify enabled and CCIC tools enabled. So if you just installed this, you might see that there is an X instead of a check mark which means that you have to enable some things that are already inside of your program. So let's go enable them very quickly. We go to Edit, and then we go to Preferences again, and again we need to be in the Add-ons tab. Okay, so we go search for, very easy, Rigify, just like it says here. And as you can see here, Rigify, it's not an external program you should download. It should be already inside of your Blender. The only thing you have to do is make sure you select the box so it's checked, and then here it should turn into a checked Rigify enabled as well. Now for the second one, again we will do the same thing. cc/IC tools, and it should come up here, characters cc/IC tools, and again we just have to make sure that the little box is checked for everything to work properly. So if you've done these two steps, your program should look something like this: Rigify enabled, CC tools enabled. Okay, so everything looks like it's going to work fine. So now we can just select our beast. I'm just going to go select my beast. Let me check it here. So this is my updated FBX file, and I'm just selecting it. Selected my beast, a248.fbx, and I'm just going to run the program. So once I run the program, run Beastify, there comes a pop-up. It says current scene will be emptied. So keep in mind, when you're using the Beastify add-on and you're using the new rigs in this way, whenever you insert your beast into the scene, your whole scene will be emptied. So you can't start by building your scene. You really have to start with importing your beast into the scene, and then you have to build your scene around your beast. Okay, so we are going to be emptying the whole scene. So right now there's only a camera, a cube, and our light, and we will empty the scene. Just click OK, continue, and now we wait for a few seconds. It can run up to half a minute, I think, before our beast gets imported into our scene. So we have 30 seconds. Are there any things that are not working properly from your side right now, guys, or is everything working properly? Oh, you had to download CC from GitHub, alright. Okay, cool, so that's nice. That's on the website, I think, there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here you can see it. It's true. The CC Blender tools. Alright, I thought it was already installed like the Rigify, but apparently you have to go to GitHub first. But everything is noted here in the Beastify.kit called Beast. And if you download it just like we said it, it should work fine. Like, this add-on is not a special way to install it. It's the way you install every other add-on. For example, if you get the Geoscatter add-on, the Easy Fog add-on, which you might have seen in the videos on Instagram, it's all the same way. Just go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and then install the zip file that you've downloaded. So once you've done that, everything should work fine, and your beast should be inside of your Blender file. So this is very cool, this is very neat. As you can see, all textures are perfectly working, and we have a rig that's ready for us to be controlled. We can just grab his hand, move it around, and we see everything is working like it should. However, we have received some very cool animations from our friendos, and let's just go to them. Here we go. So here we have 3 animations we can try out on our beast, and this one we will be using 2 of them inside of the video today. So we just go here, download blend file, and download blend file. Now, how do we get these animations, which look pretty sick, onto this beast? So there's a very easy method to do it, and we're going to do it by appending the animation. So it's very easy. Appending, and oh, I don't know what it sounds like or what it means. It just means we're going to take the animation from this blend file that we just downloaded. We're going to put it inside of this blend file. So we're going to File and we're going to Append. Then we're going to the animations that we just downloaded, for example, Dance Flare. And then we come inside of this screen. So we have Workspace, we have Texture, Scene, Object Mesh, Collection, Armature, and Action. The only thing that matters for us right now is Action, because the animation is inside of the action, and this is how we're going to make sure the action that we just downloaded, so the Dance Flare, will be inside of our project. So I just double click it, and now it's inside of our project. So it's not here on our beast yet, but we know it's inside of this Blender window. So how do we now put it onto our beast? Well, it's very easy. We just select the rig, so you see all the lines turn orange. That means we have selected the rig. And then on the bottom window, we have to go to the dope sheet. Right now we're on the timeline mode, but we have to go to the dope sheet. And in the dope sheet, we, instead of going from the dope sheet mode, we go to the action editor mode. Because remember, we just added an action to our new scene. So we need to be able to edit the action to be able to put it onto our beast. So again, instead of timeline, we're going to the dope sheet and we're going to the action editor. Then, as we see here, we have our rig selected. We can click this action menu, and here we see one action. And this should be the action we just appended into our Blender file. So let's see, there we go. That's the only thing we have to do. So right now our action is on our beast and we can do whatever we want with it. It's super easy and it works really like a charm. I'm just going to go back to solid mode so everything runs a little smoother. There we go. But as you can see, right at frame 25 our action stops. So I want to make a video where he's spinning, where he's dancing, and it's going to be fun, but there's only one time that he spins, so we really want to make sure it loops. So there's an easy ways to do it, but it's not in the dope sheet anymore. Now we have to go to the non-linear animation. So from dope sheet we go to the non-linear animation browser, and there we can see a weird orange looking thing with some keyframes in it. So this is how we're going to make sure it keeps repeating. So we go to the action and we click the button, the push down action, which makes our weird looking orange box a proper orange box with action written on it. As you can see, it's the exact length of the animation, and afterwards it stops. So I'm just going to open up the screen a little further, because right now we're going to work here in the active strip. We can do a lot of things in the active strip, but for now I'm going to show you two things that are very important, which is in the action clip tab. So we click it open, and as you can see here, we see playback and we see repeat. So if I put a repeat value to, for example, 2, you see our orange box gets larger, and if we scroll through it, we see that the action gets repeated and our animation is now double the length that it was. So for example, we want to make sure it repeats 5 times. We can see our animation just keeps looping, 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 and we can have a cool animation where our animation doesn't suddenly stop. So if you really need a very long one, you just put a higher value, for example 25, and as you can see, it's just going to run, run, run again, run again. So for now I'm just going to keep the value at 5, because there is I'm just going to do the repeat value at 1 for now, because I want to show something first, and this is the playback value. So right now it's at 1, and the playback value will determine the speed of your animation. So for example, we put the playback value to 2, and you see the action box has become double as long as it was before. Why is that? Because right now the animation is going to be played at half speed. So if you are looking for if you just don't think the cadence and the speed of the animation fits what you're going for, we can just go into the playback value and we just put in a higher number, 2, even 3. That's gonna be really slow. Now we're talking like more of a slow motion video, or we could make it lower, maybe 0.5, so he is really dancing very quickly. As you can see, the value just determines the speed that the action is played. So I'm just going to stick with 1 because I think they did a very good job at adjusting the speed of this, but I still want to make sure we have some repeat in it, like 5 times should be enough, so we can make sure our video doesn't stop in the middle of dancing. Okay, so that's basically it. Now you have a cool animation that's going on. We know how to make it longer, but what if you want to try to add 2 animations together? Like you first want him to do this dance and then secondly you want him to do another dance. Okay, so let's try doing this. So I'm just going to make sure it only repeats 1 time just for the sake of it, and we will have to first add the other animation to our scene as well, because we only added 1 dance. Now we're going to add the second one, which is exactly the same work method as we did before. So we're just going to append the new animation. So again, downloads, we choose our dance shuffle, I think, or was it the flare? I think it's the shuffle one. So again, we just go to the blend file, select action and select the action. Let's just go check it out again. Action editor, we select our rig, and then we see our second action in here, which is the shuffle dance, which he's doing, and we have our other action, which is the breakdance, animation. So they are now separately, which is pretty neat. They're working pretty well, but we want them to be behind each other because we're going to make a scene where he's doing some different dance moves. Again, we're not going to do that in the action editor. We are going to go back to the non-linear animation again. So just the same as the first time, we see again a weird orange box with some empty keyframes. We are just going to again push down the action, which makes sure we have 2 different action buttons. Okay, so the only thing we have to do right now is select just 1 action and we put it behind our first action, and let's see what our beast does now. First he does the breakdance and we go over to the second action, which is doing the shuffle, but he is not doing the shuffle right now. Okay, so what's happening? Let's see. Let's go back and let's see why he is not doing his shuffle anymore. Okay, so let's see what is the problem, because normally it should work fine, but that's the thing with Blender. One moment everything works like you want it, and the next moment it doesn't anymore. So let's start over. I'm just going to delete this action. I'm just going to append the action one more time. The new one, let's go. Let's check it out. Dope sheet, action 002, which is the dancing one. Okay, so it works. Now let's go again to our non-linear. We see action 2. We put it down. Action 2, let's see what it does. Okay, right now it's working. So I'm just going to put it on the same line. And as we can see now, he's breakdancing and afterwards he's doing the shuffle. So very easy to just put them behind each other. It's just 2 blocks of orange that you can just move around. And again, like we said before, I'm just going to put them behind each other. But if you want, for example, the shuffle animation to be longer, same thing. We go to action clip, we make sure it repeats, and the action will be repeating the number of times you selected it to repeat 25. So it works basically the same thing. The only difference right now is that we can have a shot first where he's doing the breakdance moves, and secondly he's doing a dance, a shuffle dance, where he is very happily shuffling on the music that you can decide. So right now we know how the animations work, but our rigs have some more tricks up their sleeves. We're going to talk about it right now because it can add a real range of emotions to your renders, and it is facial expressions. So I'm just going to select our model right now. So we have a rig and we have a model. So for this I'm going to select a model, and here you see like a triangular green thingy. It says data, and if we click on it, we see vertex groups. I'm just going to close it because we're not going to use it, but most importantly we see shape keys. Okay, and we see I blink left, I look down left. We see a whole range of shape keys. So how do shape keys work? You have a value, and your value can go minus or your value can go higher, but what does the value do? Exactly what it says here. So for example, I blink left. If I put the value higher, you can see the eye is blinking, the eye is closing, his left eye is closing, and again if we go back to 0, his eye is opening. So again, watch his left eye. I put in a value of 1, it's closed. I put in a value of 0, it's open. There are tons of things you can do. For example, before I was selecting his eyes and I was adjusting them manually, but now, very cool thing to do. For example, I want him to look to the left more. I just change the value to a higher one, and as you can see, his pupils are watching to the left. Again, same if I want to do to the right, I just adjust the value and he's looking to the right. Which is a pretty decent tool for really making your beasts come alive, have facial expressions, because we've been working with our beasts for a while now, where they are blinking or maybe looking at some left and right or down or up, but we've never really were able to add expressions to their faces. So right now we can do a whole range of expressions. For example, if we chose the eye white left, his eyes go open, and we can really do a lot of things with these. I'm just going to show you something like a surprised face right now that we're gonna make, and it's going to look it's really going to add the emotion that we really wanted to be able to add to our scenes for a very long time now, and now we finally can do with just a click of a few buttons. So when we're using these shape keys, for example, eye white left, I can go up and I can go up and I can go up, but as you can see, at a certain point it's not going to look good anymore. So what I suggest is, when you're using the shape keys, always use a 1 value as a maximum value, and I almost never go the other way around, because for example, as you can see here, his eye closed, but we have a perfectly eye blink left, which does a better job at closing his eye, because as you can see here at the bottom, his eye really closes beautifully around his face. For example, with the eye white left, if I'm going to go negative, it doesn't close as beautifully. So if you're using these, I would suggest only going in a value that's higher than 0, but never go higher than 1. So that's the way you're gonna get the best results, the most natural results. And let's maybe try just a surprised face expression for now. So for example, we're going to need both eyes to be a little more open, because he's surprised. If you're surprised, your eyes pop open a little bit. So we're just going to put in a value of 0.5 for the eye wide left, so it's opener, and again for the eye wide right we have to do the same thing. As you can see, his eyes are open, but he is not looking surprised yet. He just has opener eyes. So how do we get to a surprised face? For example, we can go, let's check out all the things we've got. So we got jaw open, jaw right, mouth closed, but right now I'm looking for something that's here. He has to really open up his eyebrows so his expression changes to surprised. So again, we have a lot of things we can do, but here we see all the brow, which means eyebrows, and here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things we can do with the eyebrows. So let's just check out which one we need. For example, brow outer up right, which will open up the outer brow, as it says. I'm just going to change the value to 1, but it's not really what we are looking for. So I think we have to go more with a brow down right, maybe. That's an angry face, so that's not it. So there is only one thing left, which is the brow inner up. So I'm going to give it a value of 0.5, and as you can see, it changes his expression in here, like in the center of his eyebrows, the expression changes. And it does, like at first you don't think it does a lot. Like when we change it, we see the changes, but this adds really a lot of emotion to your renders. You can really express the feelings of what your beast is going through at that moment with just these little changes. So we still need to do maybe something more here to his jawline or to his face, because when you're surprised you have a little bit of an open mouth, your cheeks are falling in a little bit because your mouth is open. So let's just go look at what we can do with our mouth. So you can imagine the things like mouth close, mouth funnel, mouth pucker. You can imagine outright how it's gonna look like, but you never know what you're actually really going to need in the moment. So we're just going to change the value and we're going to see what it does. As we can see here, mouth funnel, it's not really what we're looking for. Mouth pucker might be what we're looking for though. However, it's not really a right fit in my opinion. So we're just going to go over all the things you think, oh, this could be it, and then you just try them out. For example, right now I'm thinking maybe mouth dimple left and right should work, because like I said, we have, when you're surprised, you have an open mouth more, your cheeks are falling in, so you have a cheek dimple. So I'm just going to do the dimples to 0 again. As you can see here, I'm now going to do it again. Dimple left 1, dimple right 1, and it changes slightly, but it does so much when you render it. We can go ahead and look maybe for, let's see, a jaw open one, because you're surprised, your jaw falls open. Let's go to 1. I think 1 might be a little bit too much, so let's go to 0.5. And there we go, we have a expression, there we go, that looks like a surprised beast. So all these little things are going to come together in a great way if you spend some time on really nailing the position. Like you can jaw left, he opens up his jaw and he's more of a confused beast. If you let's go check out his eye, where he is like he's twitching with one eye because it's not the same levels at both of them. You can try all kinds of different things. I'm sure you will have a great pleasure working with it, and I'm sure you will have a lot of fun creating with these shape keys as well. So obviously your beast doesn't need to look surprised in the whole video, so you might want to change how it looks like throughout the video. And you can go back to the timeline for this, because we're going to work with keyframes right now. So I'm just going to make sure we have this. Okay, so we are going to have his eyes. Let me see. His eye wide left, we're going to shut it down because he's not surprised at first. And then we are going to open them slowly. So eye wide right, also 0. So we are going to me opening his eyes. So how are we going to do it? I'm just going to go to a keyframe, which right now is 37. You can use keyframe 1, but because we have attached both actions, wait, I'm just going to delete the action. It will be much clearer. We're just going to do this one from keyframe 1. There we go, so it works. And now we are just going to open his right eye and his left eye. So first things first, eye wide right has 0 value, so we're going to insert a keyframe at 0 value, because this is a value we're going to start with. And then we just click on, for example, frame 15, because this is the moment I want his eyes to be fully open. And I'm going to go with 0.5 again, and I insert this keyframe here. And then some moments later at 20, I want his eyes to be closed again, and I again change the value and I insert the keyframe. Now we do the same for our left eye. So again, keyframe 1, we're starting at 0, I insert the keyframe. Keyframe 15, we had 0.5, I insert the keyframe, and then we go to 20, I change the value to 0, I insert the keyframe, and he is opening his eyes, as you can see, at a special moment in time. If you want it to be more abrupt, you can change, for example, it closes his eyes a little later, it opens his eyes a little later. Like, emotions are a hard thing to really grasp, but if you play around with it a while, you will be able to understand how it works pretty well. And once you understand how the process works, we can focus on really putting the details into it and really making sure the emotions come across as you are looking for them to be coming across. But as you can see, this is the way you can use your shape keys of your face to add emotion here. And we have seen how you can add animation down there. So right now we have all the things we need to just start cracking some cool content and to really upgrade what we've been doing for the past year and a half, I think, or for the past 2 years almost. And this is just a major upgrade in how we can create content and how we are going to continue creating, in my opinion, one of the, I'm not gonna say one of the, I really think we are the best content creating machine vehicle from Web3. The team is working so hard to really give us everything we could ever need to create amazing content. And this is just one of the many steps they've already taken to provide us with amazing stuff and for us to be able to shine in the best way possible. So I think that's it for me. Are there any questions from you guys, Mimi? Is there something I should go back to?
No, let me scroll through really quick. I know. Make, I don't know if you still have the question. You can hear me? Okay. How to look up the actions? Oh, how to loop the actions, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
How to loop the actions.
Yeah. So, how to loop the actions, Make? So, again, we have to go to the nonlinear animation. Alright, so, and then we had a orange box with empty keyframes. So we had to push the action down. We clicked on it and it became an orange box here. I don't know if you remember that. And then you just click on the orange box and we go to the right frame here, which says action clip. We open it, and then the repeat value, we just make sure it has a higher value so it repeats as many times as you need it. That's it. Super easy.
Okay. Yes, he said thank you. Okay, next question. I sang that. He said also a tool to move the parts by hand, if that makes sense.
Oh, to move, yeah, of course. You can just go ahead and click on your rig, and then we have to go to pose mode. Maybe you have already done something in pose mode, but here we can just move everything by hand. We can make everything the way we want it. We can just move it. For example, I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. I'm just going to add another finger.
He said pose mode, so I think he got it.
Yeah, exactly. Pose mode. And then
okay.
Be careful though, because be careful because pose mode is really hard. Like the team worked really hard to get these animation look properly. It's really hard to by hand make an animation or make something that looks realistic inside of an animation. Of course, if you're doing a still render, this is the best way to go. It's super easy and the rig works perfectly for this. Yeah, that's it.
Boy, your beast is doing gang signs now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to undo it.
Okay, Zanello had said he can't check the box after installing the add-on. Not sure if that's like a user error. Were you able to get it, or did you still have the issue?
Oh, you mean this box here? I don't know. I never had that problem. If it doesn't work straight away, I would suggest deleting the zip file. Try to reinstalling it. Try to check if you have the latest version from Blender as well. Because we've only tested the BEASTIFY add-on on versions 4.0 and up. So maybe if someone is still using 3.5, there might be some issues with it. We haven't tried it. So try these things and maybe that should solve it.
Okay, cool. And Evolved, I don't know if your question got answered while you were watching, but he said having an issue getting these into scenes, do you have to do this first and then build a scene around the beast, or do this and export it as a FBX?
Oh, you can, yeah, you can for sure export. For example, you just do this first, and then you can export this and upload this into your other environment that you previously made. For example, that's a good way to work around that as well. Yeah. And I just want to say Zainello should upgrade his Blender quickly.
Oh wait, what did he have? What did he say?
2.7.
No. You guys are funny. All right, Chico said, can you give us a quick rundown on retargeting the new rigs with Mixamo animations without using the add-on? Is that like a quick thing?
Is that like a quick thing? That's a good question. I haven't.
I'm asking it.
Yeah, I haven't really tried it though. So,
okay.
That's a very good question, and I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to make a post about it on Twitter once I have the time. But it's a very good question. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah, and maybe we could probably drop it in the community forum.
Yeah, exactly.
Red said, when Void merch hats?
Never. Oh, Red is such an amazing person. He's been supporting always. So love you, Red. Love you, man.
Yeah, Red is the OG for sure.
For it.
Cray Billy, not a question. He said tip for keyframes is to change interpolation type to linear. Cool.
Yeah, I tried it, but it didn't work with me. So so I wanted to, for example, like right now I have the animation here. I don't see the keyframes here, so I just show the selected keyframes, so now I can see them. But once I did it, or make cyclic, what I normally do, it didn't work that way. So right now, my easiest fix is to go with the nonlinear animation. But however, if you find a way that works for you, be sure to use this way, because yeah, whatever makes it easier for you to create is the best way, I think.
Okay. Steri has said the same thing. When he copies a rig into another Blender project, the amateur breaks.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll try, because I haven't tried exporting the animation into another scene. So stereo, I'll give it a try myself as well. And if there's some troubleshooting to be done there, I'll make sure to get a fix for it, or to see how it works best. But yeah, I haven't tried it yet, so we will have to write it
Yeah,
down as well.
Joby has said the add-on installed in the new scene, so I guess maybe Steri, you could check that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, guys, do you have any more questions? I see nothing else in chat. Unless I might have missed it, then let me know. Drop it in the chat. Panda said, "Thanks, boy. This was awesome."
I
Yes,
just love
this is amazing.
what the team has done. Like, we've been a lot of you are here to learn how to create more stuff with your beasts, to create better stuff with your beast, and I love how the team really did an update that benefits us all greatly, where we can really outshine every other community again and again and again. But now we really are on top of our game, I think. It will just be some testing out how these rigs work, how everything works properly. But once we've got everything down, man, we're going to be on top of the food chain for sure.
Yeah, literally every day the team got like something new they like working on or an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And never stops. Zanello said, "Love this stream so much."
Thanks, man.
Yeah, go get the upgrade. Well, after you get a new PC, then you can get it.
Get the upgrade first, then get your new PC.
Alright, but I don't see any more questions, so I think we're all good here.
Alright, I just see Kriya Billy asking for traits.
Change.
You just have to, yeah, traits is another thing, because you will have to make sure he is holding it in his hands, which is apparent to bone, and it will not work with the BEASTIFY add-on. So you will just have to import the FBX manually, and you will have to make it work manually. So we could do a session about it maybe one day, if there are enough people that are having that want to add their traits into it. But it requires a bit of manual work. That's it.
Cool. Alright, so I think we're good here. Thank you so much, Void. Always appreciate you.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hosting a maker session.
And
thank you guys for joining.
I'm just gonna do like I always do. Thank you, Kriya Billy, Papa, Lee, Shakoma, a kid called Evolved, Magura, J-Bro, Ghost of Shushima. I always get it wrong. Steri, Zanello, TH Sino, Cap, Panda, Squee, Jobiha, Dikova, my kid for an NFT, Voodoo, Stone by Nature, Ballistic Banana, Don Conejo, Make, Chico Flores, JK, Chino, Latino, and of course Mimi. Thank you so much for tonight.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Appreciate you.
And that's a wrap. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. See you in our next maker session.